I come to each of these projects and the first thing I'm thinking about is this a good story? But then what we have to do is say, and is it relevant for Schwab to be telling this story? You see a lot of brands who are able to tell stories, but they haven't quite created that connectivity. And so I'm always trying to think of, is this relevant for us? So I started at Schwab 4 years ago, and I was incredibly fortunate to be brought in by a forward-thinking group in the brand team. And basically at Schwab, a big change, a big pivot occurred a couple of years ago where we really invested in a brand platform around the idea of Own Your Tomorrow. And it's a powerful, as you can imagine, powerful tagline, and it's something we fundamentally believe, which is in that people really need to take financial ownership of their lives. And so I was brought on board to think of new and exciting ways to connect with consumers and tell stories, and really figure out a way to get people to become advocates for the brand, get people to share stories, and really become more involved with us on an emotional level versus simply a transactional level. Finding stories is one of the hardest things to do, and I don't think I have that perfectly figured out. So we do a lot of internal communication. You know, Schwab's a large organization. We've got people in branches and out in the field interacting with clients. So we send a lot of communication. We use these videos as a way to highlight to people the power of story and also solicit more story. As I have mentioned, we have ownyourtomorrow.com, which is a site where people can submit stories or talk about stories, and so that's one way that we do it. And the Dan story is a perfect Own Your Tomorrow story, where somebody has that moment in their life that's tough, that's difficult, that all of us have experienced, and through his resilience and grit, he got through it, and then ended up finding a career that made a difference for a lot of kids. So the Dan story is incredibly powerful to me. It's inspirational, it's well done, that is high quality, and if people knew the budgets, which I can't really get into, they'd be amazed. So it's a win-win for us on many levels. Somebody sent us an email and said, have you seen this story? Here's a client of ours who was out at sea and literally, survived for more than, 24 hours. And so we were like, that's an amazing story. And we brought in Ben from Breakwater Studios, who's just incredibly talented filmmaker, and we went out there and shot the film with Bill, who is a Schwab client and just a really inspirational person, who literally went out and shot and did the takes himself, got back in the water and redid it, and everybody was just in awe of him. He's just a great guy. And again, the filter, the relevance for the story was it just shows that in those moments when people have to truly dig deep and use that resilience and grit, they make the right choice, they make the right decision. And that's why it's so powerful for us. It's another Own Your Tomorrow story. And that all connects back to us as a brand, because we really believe that when people take financial ownership of their lives, they're gonna have a better life. What has been great for us is not only have we had people sign up for accounts, including clients sign up for additional accounts, but we've also just created types of content where people are deeply engaging with it. And most financial content, as you can imagine, there's a real sea of sameness. And you don't get that emotional connection, you don't get that interaction and engagement and dialogue. And so we've been really lucky in creating this inspirational content and seeing this social engagement that has helped people internally understand the value of what we do.